Our third topic, Tee Higgins does get the tag. He's tagged for his second straight year. And just as I said with Sam Darnold, this applies to Tee Higgins as well. The tag could make it more complicated, not less complicated, to get a deal done with Tee Higgins. Tee Higgins' tag is worth over $26 million. It's 26.18, I think. 1.8. I think you can check that. I think it's $26.18 million. That's a lot on its own. But what does it mean for how he approaches this negotiation? Well, here's the thing, is that if they give him a second tag, it's either 144% of that number, which is over $37 million, or it's the quarterback tag number, which is already over $40 million. So to tag him in 2026 for the Bengals, it will cost them over $40 million. They're not going to do that. So basically for the Bengals right now, what you put in front of Tee Higgins has to be better than $26 million now and unrestricted free agency, unrestricted, unfettered free agency at 27 years old next year. And if you're Tee Higgins, you look at that and you say, if I think the market could get me to 30 to 35, whatever it is, maybe next year it's easier for him to get to 35. You're looking at that and you're saying, I can collect my 26 now, and yes, there's some injury risk. And then I can go get 35 million per year next year. And I've got the 26 in the bank and I've got 35 per going forward, and I'm set for life. The Bengals have to beat that. And that's going to be tough to beat. And what does that mean with Jamar Chase out there? And Jamar Chase potentially asking for $40 million a year, because he did have a deal last year on the table at the end that was right around $36 million per. It would have made him the highest paid non-quarterback in football last year before the season started. So if he's at 40, where do you slot T? I think all those guys want to stay together. Joe wants to keep them together. The Bengals genuinely want to get a long-term deal done with both their receivers. Can you get it done? I think it's complicated. And I think the franchise tag complicates it a little bit on the front end, but maybe down the line, if the Bengals are truly willing to pay him what he would have been worth on the open market, maybe it does simplify it, where this is the number. And if you don't give it to me now, I'm going to get it next year. So we'll see what happens. Should be a fascinating situation with that, on what happens with not just those two in Cincinnati, but also Trey Hendrickson.